Hello, everybody. It's me all by myself, just me and the table over here to play on. And I'm going to give us a couple uh, of minutes to let people get on and see who shows up. And uh, let's see what's going on. I went to the garden store yesterday, not expecting to pick up a couple of herbs, and I ended up picking up a growing thing, like a plinth-like thing that stands up and it automatically waters the plants and stuff. Because I've really missed my garden, and there's a perfect little spot outside back where I could put it. And so now I'm going to have fresh herbs, and I got a couple small tomato bushes, so that's going to be fun. And let me see where I am on this. I'm very discombobulated this morning. It took me a while to get my act together, and I just finished realizing that I had the camera set up wrong and everything was backwards. Hi, Lakeisha. I've got an answer to your question. Hi, Callie Suds. If you want to ask a question during the live, it's not going to be as smooth as when I have Kelly here with me, but Kelly does have another life other than babysitting me. So, and I'm trying to get to the thing so I can see it on my phone. Like I said, this morning, the whole morning got away from me, and I'm sorry if I don't seem as together. This morning, the whole morning got away from me. I got to mute me. I'm sorry if I don't seem as together. Okay, I just muted me, so now I can just watch. And, we got a few more people coming in. I wanted to let you know, if you watched the show last Thursday, you're one of a chosen few. YouTube decided in its infinite wisdom that there was something wrong with the broadcast. That's the first letter they sent me. And then I said, well, tell me exactly, timestamp what I did that's out of your bounds. And they couldn't. And so then they came back to me and they said, it's just a glitch in the thing, and we switched it to private instead of public. And I said, well, can I switch it back? And they said, no. And then they told me it would be fixed within 48 hours. Well, it is now 5 days, and they have not changed it back. And I thought we did a very good show then. So I was a little peeved at what happened, but, what can I say? The other thing I wanted to let you know is that I am going to start membership functions for people who want to learn how to read the garden. I'm going to put the garden on sale for gardening in the summer, and I'm going to start having private sort of garden parties. It's going to be a membership function. So if you're really interested in the garden, I'm going to do it. I'm going to make it really affordable, like buy me a cup of coffee. But I just find if people don't pay for that, when I gave it away free, people they showed up whenever they wanted to. They didn't show up at all. Then they wanted all of the tapes of all of the shows I'd done, and it was a mess. So I'm going to try doing it behind a membership, which is what all the other readers kept telling me. I'm going to keep annoying YouTube and I know Mercury is retrograde. I was thinking about that today. The other thing that's going on that's kind of out there in the skies is I'm going to let everybody who owns a garden know when the membership thing starts. Both Jupiter and Mars are ready. They're like at 29 degrees of Pisces, ready to go into Aries. And it's not whenever you ever hear someone says something's in the later degrees of a sign, it means at the very end of that sign. And in case you didn't know it, astrology is really screwed up. There's 30 degrees in every sign, but the degrees go from 0 to 29. So 29s are out. That's when you're leaving. But what's going on right now is that's why everybody's feeling like I'm supposed to be going somewhere, but I'm not getting there. Because it's just, we're all sort of like kids on Christmas Eve waiting for the packages to open, and they're going to start opening now because of this shift of signs. So I'm really excited about that. And because of that change of signs, the first thing I'm going to show you today is I do a kind of reading that I call it my 6-month reading, and I do it at New Year's. I do it, and I do 12-month readings, and it's a reading for your whole year. And in the it's 6 months, and I used to do this when I read at table in June. I would start reading out for 6 months. So I'm going to show you what a 6-month reading looks like. And I'll just kind of, what's the next 6 months going to look like for the U.S., for what's going on around all of us. So, and I think you'll like this reading. It's a lot of fun. And if you have 2 decks of cards, you can do it. Even if you have 1 deck of cards, you can do it for yourself. But the first cards that I'm going to lay down are what I call the foundation cards. And the deck I use is Radley Valentine's Archangel Tarot. And so there is no, none of these will be reversed. They will all be as they are. And they only have one interpretation straight up. And I lay out June, July, August, September, June, July, August, September, October. No, wait, 6. If it's 6 months, it's July, August, September, October, November, December. So I start these in June when there's about 6 months left and give people a chance to look at it. Now, the other thing I do is I put a clarifier on top of each one of the months, and then we look at see what patterns we can see. So we're going to put a clarifier. I'm going to use my normal cards. Normally I use a real pretty little fairy tale deck, but because I told you I was setting cameras up until we went on the air, so I didn't get a chance to get those pulled. But if you get it done, you'll see the other deck. It's a Hanson Roberts deck. It's very pretty. Okay, and this is July, August, September, October, November, December. And then we're looking at the U.S. So what's going to happen to the U.S. in June? Oh, this is great. This is the 3 of Gabriel, and a lot of things are coming to light. A lot of ships are coming in, which I would expect. Prosperity arising from wise planning. Take times about the next step. And of course, we all know what's going to be going on in this country in the month of June. So some people are going to have their little noses out of balance this month. July. Ooh, it's decision. And release yourself from what holds you back. It's time to detox. This is going to be a time when the country's really going to get a chance to look at itself. Unnecessary worry is based on lack of self-confidence. And it's going to be a blow to all of us. In a traditional deck that, I can't remember which number that is, but it's the Queen of Pentacles. And it's going to seem to people like the Queen of Pentacles reversed makes people feel very negative about their prosperity. People are going to be pulling in. But that's going to be okay. I mean, it's a chance for us to reassess. Then August, well, then a lot of stuff comes to light and people feel very gracious and open. It's going to be follow your heart, love of home and family. And a lot of people are going to be awakening to the things they thought were not right that were going on around them. Their instincts were exactly right. They were not right. So, and what's going to happen is we're going to get to work on fixing it. What the problems we're going to become aware of, we're going to really sit down and say, these things have got to get fixed. September. Ooh, September is, I love this. This is a 10 of Swords in a traditional deck, but it's bowing out. And its situation has ended. You are finally free. Oh, God, if I wanted to hear those words about the U.S. New opportunities for happiness will now follow. Put the past behind you. So it's going to be a chance for us to look at what happened. But it's just like when you get healed for something, you have to look at what's wrong so you can fix it. And look at what our modifying card is, the Sun, which is, yes, this is going to be wonderful. September. October is going to be a wonderful month where a lot of stuff's going to come to light. Now, what's November like? Okay. November is going to be the Epiphany, which is the Hermit, which is wise wisdom. And it's the Hermit and the Hermit. Can't believe this. Joy through spiritual growth, light of others. Answers will come from meditations. And we have a right side Hermit up on it. I think the November elections are going to go a lot better than people think they are. That's what I would say from this, since I'm looking at the U.S. That's the only reason I'm talking politics. And then December is going to be, oh God, can we rest now? Can we be away from all this crazy? And some people who've been in power will be getting out of power, because that's the King of Swords reversed. It's usually a powerful person. I'm sorry, I'm not very good with this camera. But so what I see is a lot of stuff's going to come to light, and a lot of information is going to come in July, and we're going to be absorbing it. August is going to be a time when we're going to say, oh my God, can we make it through this? But we can. September is going to be a time of real learning and pulling it all together and getting emotionally together about things. October is going to be, it's the 10th month, and this is when people are going to say, okay, I've had enough of that. We're finished with it. Let the sunshine in. And the sunshine is going to come roaring in on the Spirit of the Hermit. I like this card's vision of the Hermit, because this is the Hermit and this is us. And he's leading us with the light up the mountain. We're becoming enlightened when that Hermit card shows up like that. And December is going to be a time, it's going to be calm, guys. It's going to be reflective. It's going to be a time where we pull it back together, because we realize that this is gone now, this oppressive patriarchy sort of thing. Not that all that they've done, because biggest problem with politics is it's a slow process. But so I think the months, I think that out for this year looks great. So now I'm going to start to dive into the questions that people have given us. And I'm going to I'm going to put the table here and me there. Okay. Now, the questions I got today. And oh, hi, Sharon. Thank you for being here. I don't have a sidekick today, so it's me on my own, and me on my own is kind of a scary thing at times. And to the brave souls who are watching this, okay, I'm looking through quickly to see if anything. Hi, Carol Lamb. And I want to put a big shout out and a thanks to Abigail, who's the lovely lady who wrote me and told me YouTube had taken my last Thursday show down for no reason whatsoever. So on YouTube, I'm being so mature. Okay. Okay. Helene asked, I think it's Helene, but it's Helen with an E. She's having flashes in her visions, and this has happened to her since she was quite young. And she wants to know if it's her guides telling her about something in this life, or if some past life is trying to break through. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the dowsing chart here, and we're going to read the pendulum for her. And as you know, when you start using the pendulum, it's like, do I have permission to dowse? Yep. This is yes, and this way is no. Okay. Am I aligned with my higher self? Okay, yes. And am I fully protected? Yes, okay. So the first one I'm going to put this is, I think Helene thinks it's been around her so long that it's something from a past life that's been following her. So that's the first question I'm going to ask. Then I will also ask if it's, I have a theory kind of that came in my mind when I was reading this question, how this works, but are these visions that flash in front of Helene from her past life? Yes, they are from your past life. But I think where you bridged it together with what your guides and angels are saying to you now is, are they warning her about similar situations to watch for now? Are they just planting that image in your head for you to see the similar? Yes. Okay. Can these visions bring any harm to you in this life? No. So I think your concern was, You know, are you having a past life breaking through? Yeah, you are a little bit, but it's just you're kind of getting a sneak peek so that when the same situation pops up in this life, you can adjust for it. And I think you maybe in ways you're not aware, you make some little adjustments for it. Okay, I'm going to answer Tammy's question. Tammy was practicing with her pendulum, good girl. And the pendulum, she started to go to the second question, and she was sort of apparently she's not someone who swings like I do. She leaves it sitting in center in the middle. And all of a sudden it started swinging on her own without a question. So she wants to know what was happening with that. And let's see. And mind swinging, it's nothing to worry about. It's nothing to worry about. She said it swung quite wildly. So apparently I'm touching the same energy. It's nothing for you to worry about. What else can you tell us, Tammy? Did it mean that Tammy had tied into an upgraded vibration? We're going to do it my way. Yes, you just went through a real change in your own vibration, and that's part of what happened. So I don't think it's anything to be, I don't think you were taken over by anything. I just think you had a change in vibration, and I just wanted to let you know. I'll see, Celtic Seer, if I can get your question about extend contract. Okay, the next one that I got was a very interesting question. It's about a case, and I actually looked it up because it is online. And two men disappeared in Florida, Terrence Williams and Felipe Santos. And the connection for them is they were in the charge, care, or custody of a sheriff in Florida named Steve Calkins. And this person wanted to know if he had led, if their interaction with him had led to their death. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lay out 3 cards, one for Terrence, one for Felipe, and a 3 card for Calkins, and I'm going to see how they're connected. And then I also, if I get what my head was telling me earlier today, or what my spirits were telling me, I'm going to pull from the James Von Bragg Messages from Heaven. Okay. So this is Terrence. That doesn't look good. And this is Felipe. And this is Steve Calkins. Okay. What I see first for Terrence is, yeah, he was treated unjustly. I think he was either beaten or stabbed. Somehow or another, he was stopped. He is not with us anymore, I don't think. Felipe thought he had worked his way out of it, but Felipe was pretty drunk when or was on something when he was picked up. And it did not go the way he thought it would go. Now, let's look at Calkins. What's going on with Calkins? Things didn't go the way he wanted them to. Things got really out of hand. He's living in a delusional world that he's going to get away with this, and he apparently has someone helping him build a defense. And from what I read, they've tried to go to court over this, and he's got some legal people around him, and maybe law enforcement that's around him there, but let's see what we can find out about his defense. What's his illusion? He thinks he's going to come out of this hole. What's his defense doing? He's going to run into a judge who's going to make him have to deal with the situation. But right now he feels like he's safe. And I'm going to pull, since my instincts when I read this story and I read the stuff, I was like, well, it's been a while. And so if these guys have not popped up somewhere else, we're going to do a Von Prague talking to heaven and see if the cards don't make any sense, then maybe that's not where they're talking to us from. But we're going to do Terrence Williams first. Give us a card that gives us a sign that Terrence is speaking to us from heaven. And I hope it was an easier transition for you. We have been together in our dreams. And the other card is, I watch over you every day. I think he's there. And I think he's settled with it. His soul's settled with it. He's okay with it. So now, what about Felipe? I'm so much better now. And remember, I thought when I saw him in this thing, he was pretty drunk or pretty drugged when he got stopped. And I now have no pain. So I think they're both over there. I think that they're watching over this and they feel justice is going to come in time. So that's the other question I was going to ask about this case. I'm going to pull one card out of Eileen. Will this, I'm going to put 5 out. Will this ever be solved? Will this ever be solved? It will be. It's going to take a while. Things are happening right now that are going to make it closer, but there's just a whole lot of skullduggery and bad things that went on here. But eventually the system's going to get them. I couldn't read when I was reading in the information about it. I couldn't tell if this officer's like on leave or is he still with the force. I have no idea. So I'm kind of really reading this thing blind. I really don't know what's going on with him much. Okay. So that's for a lady whose name started with an A. Hi, Ronnie. Hi, Ronnie. Ronnie said hi to me. Hi to me. Hi to Ronnie. And Pam, yes, I did get the package. I mailed, apparently, I was so enthused in getting eggs out, I mailed an extra egg, and the lovely lady mailed it back and said, I already have an egg. So Bridget wants to know, we're going to use a pendulum because it's a little bit quicker. I'll use a pendulum if I can find, oh, here, okay. Bridget wants to know if she's going to get an increase in we're going to start with this and then we're going to go to the garden. She wants to know if her writing is going to make her a reasonable income this year. Was it going to change? Yes, it is. Now, what I'm going to do for you now is use the garden to do the one thing the garden can do. It can do time. We're going to see when that change might happen. And if you haven't watched me do this before, this part is winter, spring, summer, and fall. So this will be like the next year. So we're almost in summer now, virtually. So when will Bridget clearly see the economic change? Oh, I think it's fall and winter. It's right here. It's fall, late summer. You're going to start to see some real pickup. You're going to see a whole lot of pickup in the fall that's going to carry over into the winter. And then you've got spirit in the tree of life. And when spirit lands in the tree of life, if you want to interpret a crystal other than its time placement, ta-da! Spirit. Some of the reason that some of your writing hasn't done as well as it could have before is because you didn't have all your spirit in it, and the things you're working on now, you're very connected with, and they're going to flow much more easily. And I see that with your grounding stone being in your creativity, you're really bringing that in. But you're also falling back on some information from your past as part of what you're writing about. So I think it looks really good. It looks really good for you. Okay, and Lakeisha wants to know about her love life. So we're not going to do that in the garden. I don't interpret that real well in the garden. We're going to do a what's going on around Lakeisha's love life. Love messages. And if you want to see me use the garden more, you can watch my daily show that I do with Jeffrey. It's on my channel. It's on his channel. And also Jeffrey at Ripe Color. And we're going to start doing our June readings. Our May ones have been pretty spot on according to what people are reporting back to us. Okay. Is there going to be an improvement for Lakeisha in her love life? It actually says yes, girl. And I'll tell you what it says is you've been chasing the wrong person. You've had some new things come up this spring, and you met a new younger person, this younger in that they weren't as mature as other people you've been with. And they've kind of offered you some love. Your problem is you're kind of a control freak, and you want to be with the kind of person you think you want to be with instead of opening your heart up to everything. But this shows that you're moving on to a new place. So I think if you have some old boyfriend who's still hanging around, I'm going to see about him. Oh, yeah, you had some control freak boyfriend. You need to get rid of him. This guy's lovely, but you're not going to recognize it till October. Just saying. And you need to quit thinking you can control everything. You just kind of need to let things go with the flow and see what happens. Celtic Seer, will your contract be extended? We're going to try the pendulum again. Okay. Everybody see it? Okay. Celtic Seer's contract, will it be extended for 1 to 2 years? Yes. Okay. Will it be extended to 2 years? I think you're going to get a 1-year extension and then a 2nd-year extension, but I don't see you getting both of them right at the time. Okay. And then I got to go Dana. Dana. Okay. Okay, I'm going to start marking these, starring them. I'm going to spend a couple seconds here starring things so that I don't lose things. Okay, Kelly Sands. Oh, okay, there's Dana's message. I knew there was one in here. Celtic Seer, I'll write that down and talk about it on Sunday with Scott, but I think I had to speak about what's happening politically because I picked the U.S. as my 6-month reading to show. Yeah, please hit the thumbs up. And oh, yeah, intermittent fasting. I woke up today with the stomach stuff, so I've had a cup of my homemade bone broth for my food today. But if you're on keto, you don't get hungry, so that's not so bad. You just have to make sure you eat something. You were at 700 in the start this is comments from Tammy. She was at 700 when she started reading. Yeah, you clearly had room to grow, and I bet you that was an energy hit coming in, telling you to check your vibration again and see how it's changed. If you don't know how that works on this, I'll do that real fast, and then I'll go catch the questions that I've starred. You go around in a circle and you say, what is, and okay, from here to here is 10 to 100. But if you get the book, if you contact me by email, I can send you a PDF on how to read this dowsing chart, and it's called A Letter to Robin. And from here to here is your personal vibration. And this little triangle, the funny little thing in the corner that Danny put on here, he managed to fit it on, but it's an impossibly small script for my glasses to read. But from this is from 0 to 100. You just put an extra 0 on that, so it tells where your vibration is. And what Tammy was saying was her personal vibration was swinging like this, and I bet you all of a sudden it made a jump like that, went to 1,000. That would make it swing further out and want to move. And I'm going to do some more on this because watch for it. Sheila and I did a show yesterday, and we did on how we've come to understand the shifting energies, the cosmic energies, and how those are pushing us. And one of the things we talked about was personal vibration. And people used to say, well, just suss out what your vibration is. So how the hell do you know? You know, I read cards, I do lots of things. Then I found this method, and you swing and you say, what's my personal vibration today? And for me, it always goes over to 1,000, 1,100 for the most part. But as I tell the story that I told yesterday, I was showing some friends when I was trying to figure this method out. And I have personal friends who are not readers. You would know. They're just personal friends of mine. And we were having a Zoom call. This was back when no one could leave their houses and go anywhere. And I was showing them how I'd managed to get up between 900 and 1,000 when I thought about good things and bright light and had meditated the morning before. And it was just swinging to 1,000, just swinging, having a wonderful time. And I just put it down, and I'd had some stupid scam caller who kept calling me, and I was tired of listening to it buzz. And so I picked it up and I said, hey, can I help you? And he was like, you don't need to take that attitude with me. And I could tell he was from the Philippines. And I said, look, you're just you're disrupting my life. And he started swearing at me in whatever his native tongue was. I think it's Tagalog. And so I just gave him an Anglo-Saxon expletive and told him that word and you, and hung up. And my friend said, oh, go check, see what your vibration is. Well, my vibration had gone to here. It had dropped 50 points. So if you want to know a way to sort of test your vibration, that's one way to do it. And I found it consistently works. And some of the other readers who've worked on it with me, we all find that it kind of consistently works. So let me see if there's anything else. Okay. So we're going down to find questions. Yep. This is Tammy's other comment. It was swinging all the way out to the edge of the circle. Yep. It really wanted you to pay attention to it. Should I leave my job now or pursue a writing business full-time or wait? Okay. I'm going to tell you one thing you can do when you're talking to readers. This is really two questions. And so there's also, should I leave my job, as just one question. Then is it pursue my writing career? It would be the second part of that. So what we're going to do, and this is for H. Elizabeth. We're going to start with, should you leave your job right now? No. Okay. Then I would say, should she begin to think about another way to pursue her writing career within the next year? That's yes. So that would be my answer to your question that way. That I hate giving people really fast answers like that because there's a lot more behind that, but that might be a good 6 months. What's happening in the next 6 months of my life question. Okay. What messages do my guides have for me today? That's a tarot-y question. We're gonna use colors, which I like. If you want to pull an oracle card and kind of see a message for your day, this is cool. The other one that's I think is kind of cool, and I'm finally learning it because I watch Dorothy Morgan does an astrology show every morning, and it's like 6 to 8 minutes. It's absolutely brilliant. And she reads Astro Dice, and it kind of gives you a really quick way. That's one of the 3 components she has every day to look at your day, and the one she said today just fit me perfectly. And it's not that that's where things are in the signs or anything. You roll 3 dice. One's for the house it's in, one's for the sign it's in, and one's for the planet. And it has a little book that teaches you how to interpret that. And even if you don't know very much about astrology, it's really easy to interpret. So it's sort of like an oracle way of using astrology. And your oracle card today is blue. And you can't see the bottom of it. You can't. Okay. It says activate your healing power. And I really love these cards. I think they're beautiful. And your guides are telling you 37. I'll use guides. I'll use oracle cards any kind of time to talk with guides. Blue activates healing power, increases vitality. It also has a calming effect if you've been feeling nervous or manic or overexcited. It also contains antiseptic qualities that heal the things that are really hurting you. Use blue light to assist you in healing your body. And it says, imagine you have a blue sword of light. And on the tip of the sword, there's a blue star, which is incredibly bright healing power. Use this blue sword to relieve fears, stop bleeding, clear up problems around you. Say, divine sword of life, heal, purify, regenerate this area. Repeat this statement until you start to feel better. So I think you've been feeling a little at odds with yourself, and that's what it says, is you need to take the time out and generate your own healing energy. And I think that's the message for your guides. Marlene, I have no idea how close that is. Okay. Oh, travels. What happened to your mother's jewelry? Was it stolen? Okay, I'm going to do this with the cards. Oh, okay. She's got a couple ways to look at this show. What happened to my mother's jewelry? Did she give it away or was it taken? Thank you. Okay, we're going to start with the first one. Was it stolen? No, we're going to start with, did she give it away? Did your mother give away her jewelry? No, but it's in, there's 2 women on here, and there's a light-haired, light-eyed woman that would be the Queen of Cups if she was right side up, but she's kind of emotionally conniving. I think your mother was aware someone wanted her jewelry. I think your mother put it somewhere where somebody couldn't get to it. Yeah, she was trying to put it somewhere, or she tried to leave it somewhere where it would be safe. Let's see if they got away with it. And I'm going to leave. I wish I knew, Travels, whether your mother was dark-haired or light-haired, but I'm going to put both those women in there. Let's see. Was her mother's jewelry stolen or removed from her mother without her mother's consent? No, she did get it to someone you haven't found yet, but and I don't know why they're holding on to it. I don't understand it. This shows that will Travels ever understand where it went? Yeah, you're going to find out where it went. Your mother left it with someone because she was worried about somebody that was hanging around her or a situation she was in, that they were going to take it away. And I think you're going to have an opportunity to find someone's going to approach you and say, I have this. I don't know how long ago this happened, but that's what I'm seeing. Okay. This is a Von Prague card. Okay. What's Dad got to say about the land in New Mexico? No, that's book. I'm here helping you. I think behind the scenes, he's trying to get you the information you need to know to get that issue settled. Let's see, since he's here helping us. Okay, Dad, we're going to put you in the hot seat. We're going to lay some cards about this. There we go. How can Dad help? How can Dad help? He's actually looking out over a piece of land in that picture, too. How are you helping? Really helping. Who are you helping? This card really wants to show up, so put it here. Oh, didn't like it. If you're in a fight with a family member over this, your dad didn't write a very good will, or he didn't leave anything at all. That's all about to change. I think what I see is you're fighting with a man, the King of Cups, and he's upside down. But this card is, when it's right side up this way, it means the bridge of despair. But you see you're running along it, but you're coming out with a new start in your life, and it's reversed, which means whatever's going on around this, you're going to get an answer pretty soon. Let's see. What could you tell her about the land situation? Well, your out card is he doesn't want you to cry over spilt milk. He wants you to accept however the settlement comes out. Someone has been less than truthful about this, but he shows that whatever's been weighing all of you down is going to end soon, and it's going to lead you to some new money. It's just not happening. Trust me. Deaths and marriages are like the worst thing for families, and I understand how they're created and how they stop, but a lot of times when I do long readings for people, that's what I hear about is the will that someone ran off with or got a hold of the other person about, and it doesn't do well. Let's see what else we got. Okay, show. Okay, those are kind of two diverse things. Let's start with getting the home improvement first, and then we'll look at the redundancy. How's our home improvements going to go? Well, you got that card. That means even, yeah, it's going to really free you up from some problems you've had. There are two people you've been arguing with about getting it done the way you want it done, but this shows you're going to get it the way you want it done because it's next to moving on from something that's been very depressing. So I think your home improvements are going to come through. You might be dealing with some people that are a bit of a pain in the butt, but overall it's going to be great for you. Now let's see. Well, you get redundancy. Yes, but it's going to lead you to something much better. It's going to lead you to a new set of goals. You should have been out of there a long time ago. The company's got some real problems. They're trying to do this so that they don't completely fall down, but it's going to put you in a better place to move on to a new situation that's going to be much brighter for you. Some of the best things bosses ever did to me was say, you don't need to be here anymore. For them and for me. Okay. I'm out of questions. I've got some stuff I got to do. Keep it in mind. I will be announcing on Thursday exactly all the particulars about buying the gardens. I only have so many gardens left, and then I have to come to a mental decision about making more because I have a certain number of scarves, but I don't have. And the person who was building the gardens for me, putting the stones and putting it all together, they've moved on to doing something else because they wanted to eat. I'm going to put me back up front. There we go. So when I sell these last 50 or so gardens I have, that's all I'm going to have for a while. Although I already have someone who's lined up who wants to make them if I decide to print more scarves. But the scarves are obviously the most expensive part of the garden is getting that printed and that pretty garden put together. And I don't want to be building them if people aren't using them. And I do know there are some people using them. As a matter of fact, one of the reasons I decided to go ahead and start having garden parties in June is one of the people there's 3 people who use the garden awful lot and talk to me about it all the time. But 2 of them wrote me in the last week and said, you need to start having garden parties. You need to put it behind a membership so that we know people are sincere about wanting to be there and they're just not wandering around the dial. That's kind of where I'm going with that. And I hope everybody has a wonderful day. I don't know what it's doing where you're doing, but I'm in Texas and it's raining and it's cool. And I have to go take something to the UPS and have them box it up and mail it. It's a gift my daughter wanted to get to some people. And I bought myself a little up high garden so that I could garden. And I have to go get a thing I didn't know I needed to put in a garden, but apparently I do. So I'm going to go buy a bag of this stuff. And that's kind of my day. Oh, and this evening I'm going to be taping a show that will be on later, but it's with a young man named Adam Free. He's an astrologer, and we're going to talk about this exceptionally strange time when so many planets are at 28, 29 degrees and are shifting into other signs. The other thing that's kind of interesting, I understand. Okay, I got one more question I got to answer for this lady. Let's see. I don't like reading. What did I do with my cards? Oh, they're here. I don't really like reading medical questions, and I'll tell you why. I was raised in a medical household. I was raised by a doctor. I grew up around medicine an awful lot, and I saw people get deluded into not getting the treatment they needed. But I'm going to tape this and see. Okay. Let's see. We're going to start with the doctor's suspicions because I can't tell you anything. If it's nothing, I can't tell you how to fix that. But let's see if the doctor's suspicions are correct. And then I'll ask if he's working with the best spouse doctors, if their suspicions are correct. This is 4. So y'all know what I'm talking about. It's for this lady. It's something definitely with his lungs, but I don't see that it's cancer. And it's got more to do with his heart than his lungs. But let's see, is he working with the right physicians? Yeah, he's absolutely working with the right physicians. They're calm. They don't jump to conclusions. They take their time. And they're surgeons. And if there's nothing to cut, they won't cut, which is a really good surgeon. So I'd say keep going. And until you have an absolute diagnosis, I know when you have the worst possible symptoms. When I went in and it ended up, I just had both bacterial and viral pneumonia at the same time. They thought I had cancer. They thought I had lung cancer. Matter of fact, they put me on the oncology ward from the emergency room. And I was so out of it, and I know what oncology means. I didn't pay any attention to that. But anyway, I think that he's working with the right doctors. They're not too quick to cut, and they have not gotten the complete diagnosis yet. And there's also something going on with his heart, which they need to look at. Anyway, with that, good news for this lovely lady. I'm going to say goodbye, and I hope you all have a great day, and I'm going to go finish mine. Take care. Bye.